Yo, what's good, YouTube? Antayami here, back with another video. And in today's video, it's gonna be a more of an educational video. Okay, we had this really long drawn out mirror match versus this person, and his deck is a little bit different from mine, and there's some things I didn't agree with, but this is the game 3 situation. I am going second here, and my opponent here is starting off with his turn. And I'm just gonna be real with you, I was playing like absolute dog water. I'm just gonna be real with you. I just played super horrible. I made a lot of mistakes, but to be fair, it was like 1 o'clock in the morning, I think, when I was playing this guy, and I was watching a streamer and laughing at a streamer while playing this game, so I wasn't paying attention to half the things I was doing. But I really want to go back and kind of replay like a little play-by-play of the situations I was in, what we could have done better, and how we could have won harder in this situation. But yes, this is game number 3, and we'll just do the play-by-play and go from there. All right. If you guys are enjoying the content, again, make sure you guys leave a like, comment down below, and subscribe to the channel if you have not, because we made it to 1,000 subscribers on YouTube, which is like one of my milestones, and let's see if we can just keep moving to the next milestone. So also, I will be updating the spreadsheet with the I'm gonna go ahead and just show you guys here real fast with this guy right here, because I was testing and I wanted to see how this will impact the list. I took out the Guardian Chimera because the Guardian Chimera is 1000% win more. There were some games where I wish I summoned it, but you can still outplay your opponent, so you don't need it. It didn't cost me any games. I didn't like, oh man, if I had Guardian Chimera, I win. Never came up like that. And this card right here, it boosts consistency, so we're gonna talk about that in a future video, because I think I figured out the card. It's really sick. I like that. At first I didn't like it, now I do, but we'll talk about that in a later video. All right, so we're going against our opponents here, and he's starting off first, and I know he's on like the Fiendsmith, kind of like White Forest Azamina package here, kind of similar to mine, but just like slightly different, right? He's playing Reframing. I'm not playing Reframing. I think that card is high-key dog water, because if you're not playing the game, like say if you get nibbed or if you get double hand trap, that card is dead. But it's cool. I mean, I'd rather just play Solemn Judgment, but anyway, if you were to go in that position, it's searchable. It's just win more. If you're already getting to your inboard, you should win. So anyway, so he starts off with track here, and I'm just thinking like, this is not Engraver, and I don't know if he's playing multiple tracks and stuff like that. I don't really know his like full package and stuff like that. Like, I don't know if he's on a trap or not. So I was like, he's starting with this, and normally I start with this as a bait, but I was like, maybe if I can disconnect him from his Fiendsmith package, I have a whole bunch of other hand traps. Now, in retrospect, I probably should have saved Ash for like something like Black Witch, like you go Black Witch Deception, you know, things of that nature. I just play sloppy. But see, the reason why I didn't want to do it, because I have Imperm, and I didn't want to, you know, bestial their Engraver or whatever, and then have Imperm as a dead card. So I went with Ash here because I want to make sure I use Imperm before I use the bestials here, and the bestials are decent into White Forest. So so I went with the Ash here, stopping him, trying to cut his axis off of the Fiendsmith, and then I'll probably use, like, you know, if he gets back into Fiendsmith, then I have the bestials as backup, so he'll literally end on anything. So yep, he goes Azet, which is like, gosh, I bet you he was very happy to see that Ash. Like, this is like literally Ash bait here. So when you Ash this, your opponent goes, oh, well, this is resolving 100%. So now you can play through multiple hand traps at this point, which is like, dang. So smart for my opponent. So he special summon Azet, searches for Sylvie, normal summon Sylvie, and I was like, okay. So I'm thinking like, what else he had in his hand? I'm thinking he has like non-engine here. So I was like, maybe he has like 2 hand traps or whatever. So I'm thinking like, if I cut this off here, he can go back into the Fiendsmith package here. But he can also go into a Synchro 6 if he has another spell or trap, which I put it on. Okay, you better have a spell or trap here. So I put him on, you better have it. So I was assuming that he had 2 hand traps in hand, so I went with Imperm. So now my bestials are free to play, and I hand trapped him twice, and this is why this deck is so good into hand traps. Because if they have two bodies, they can still push into the Fiendswift engine or Synchro 6. So Synchro 6 here, back, I was like, dang, okay. He thought about this. He thought here for a very long time, like literally maybe 2 minutes here. And I was thinking like, all right, he has to be thinking about the Fiendswift package here or whatever. But no, he thought very hard and he was thinking about like, do I discard this card or not? So he has to have like synchro cards to like keep this live. So yep. So he goes into this, searching to Asmin Azet, which is correct here. And then he's still playing underneath Nib. So 1, 2, 3. This is the 4th summon, so he's fine. He's underneath Nib. He'll add this back. He gets to search off this. He's in a good position here. So Nib is literally just ass at this point. So he goes special summon Azet, synchro into 8. 8 will bring back the counter trap. I don't think he has anything else that's worth bringing back. Like, this is dead. This is not doing anything. So, and plus he can recycle this back by shuffling back the Azet. So this is the only target for the most part. So he did the chain links backwards here. He should have did chain link 1 here, even though it doesn't really matter because I already Ash, so it doesn't really matter, I guess. But typically in good practice, you want to chain link 1 this, chain link 2 this. I don't know. I could have had Skullmeister. Shout out to Skullmeister. But yeah, you want to play around the most. So yeah, so then this is going to add back. I guess he's just going to play around Bell here, which is, I guess, common. I don't know. Then he has now Wanted, and now he has Reframing. Then he can actually add that back. So now he has the Wanted plus Hollow combo, which is like, So I was like, all right, cool. I can just Bestial, and I'm good, right? Yeah. Bestial Drawers Worm, I'm good. Even though I'm not good because now he has the whole Deception combo. And he has Engraver. So now he doesn't get back into the Fiendswift engine with this, but it's gonna suck in a second. So he goes Wanted search Black Witch, and then he Black Witches the Engraver effect, set Deception, and then he goes Sylvie to summon herself back by specialing herself. And then I had to let that go. There's no reason to stop that. And then he goes to the moon. And then he goes into this combo. I was thinking like, all right, he's holding Deception for like Nib and things of that nature, like other hand traps, which is really smart. So it's very smart to set up like a Nib proof line. And then you can go Deception tributing like this or, you know, whatever he wants to do. So this is really smart for my opponent. He's playing very well here. So goes Lockerma dumps Engraver, and then from this point I know he's not on trap because he would have dumped trap here if he was. So like, okay, that's great. So then now I go Magma Mood to stop the Engraver from coming out, and then he changed this. He thought about this for a long time too, because here's the thing, right? Because if he goes Deception tributing this, he's off of the Fiendswift stuff for now. And if he used this effect to sim this, he won't have a push with the Deception stuff. But if he gets rid of this, then I don't have to worry about a counter trap. So I was like, okay. So he's used this effect to send Deception. And then he goes back into the Synchro 6 here, which now I'm thinking like, oh snap. Now I'm playing into a Light and Dark Chaos Angel, which in the grind game, it's really, really scary. And we're already in the grind game because he had a gassy hand and I also had 4 hand traps. So we are in a very interesting spot. And I have Bestials on board so I can go into the like Fiendswift stuff, no problem. So we're in a really interesting game state already. So I was already excited for this game. I was like, okay. So he goes Wanted, recycles back his Deception to draw a card, and he draws into D-Barrier. Fantastic. Requiem effect equipping to the Lockerma sets 2, and then he goes into sequence because now he has enough lights and darks, so enough light fiends. So yeah, now he goes into a Desiree. So now I'm like, fudge, man. He still pretty much made a really good inboard through like 4 hand traps, bro. Like, hello. And then this tells me that he doesn't play Agman Day, which is thank God. Yeah, he doesn't play Agman Day or anything, but he's on the Chorozo. Let's go. Guardian Chimera. How does he have space for all this? I might need to peek his extra deck because he even have this. What is he playing that I don't have? Oh, he's not playing the other Azamina stuff. Oh, yeah, he cut the Azamina soul. That's interesting. And then of course he cut this for more. Okay, I mean, I guess that's like fair enough, right? Fair enough. But I would not be playing the Link 4 without that Link 3. I feel like that's like almost mandatory at this point. But anyway, goes into this, and yeah, he has a solid inboard. He has Barrier, he has Reframing, Desiree, this, and then he has like Sylvie plus like Synchro, and this adds back as well. So really good stuff here. So I Magma Mood, searched my second Druid Swarm here, and then I drew into a Perulia. Fantastic. You love to see it. So here I thought about it a lot. Oops, let me swap back here. I thought about this for a while. I thought of two lines here. Either A, I go into battle phase and I go Magma Mood, crash into this, and then in battle phase activate Druid Swarm to banish Azets, and take him off of the barrier, or sorry, off the reframing. This is unknown. I don't know what this is, but this is the only unknown I don't know. So I was like, I don't know what this is. Could be imperm, call by, whatever, right? So I was like, maybe it was better for me to like go into battle phase, crash into this special summon Druid Swarm, and then do the engraver like Fiendsmith package, and then eventually normal summon in Sylvie. And if you guys follow my spreadsheets, Sylvie is a 1-card combo. So resolving this would be insane, especially now since I have this dead card. Deception will go crazy. So anyway, I decided to link off for some reason. I don't think this is the best line here, but yeah. The reason why this is not the best line, because now it gives him access to activate this, which is I didn't think about at the time. So now he gets a lot more, you know, track. But it only baited this, which I was like, okay, makes sense, I guess, because now he still has this able to go. Yeah, this is not a very good position for me. So now I go into Requiem into Lacrima effect. He Desirays it, trying to keep me off the engraver, which again makes a lot of sense here. And then I go Druid Swarm, and then he goes this. Now, this is the problem with my line, because I'm thinking like I'm going for a Chaos Angel here, but he burned a Desiree, so now this is a free sim with this, which makes a lot of sense. I'm giving his cards way more value than what they should have had, and this is the mistakes I was making. Me going to battle phase, Magma Mood crashing into this would have prevented 90% of his plays, and I would have been in a winning position. But instead, I decided to play like Dog Water and play really into my opponent. I just gave him so much value. Like, I don't know what I was doing here. So now he goes into this. Now both my monsters will now be Book of Moon. Shout out to that. So now I go normal summon Sylvie. I know everything is pretty much good here, and I was praying like, please don't let this be an imperm, because I lose on the spot if this is an imperm, which is why the play I did before was bad, right? So imperm wins the game for him, no questions asked. Thank God it was a D barrier. So I activate Sylvie's effect, and we're gonna search out this, and I saw that resolve. I was like, okay, it's probably a bluff. Like, what else can it be? It wasn't called by the grave, because I feel like he would have called by the grave any of my Fiendsmith stuff here. So I was like, what is this? This has to be like a dead card or something, right? Yeah, I don't know what it could have been. It could have been, like I said, wanted, or I don't know. So I was thinking like, okay, so this got to be a bluff. People still apparently are playing D barriers still, which is not a bad card, but I don't think it's that good right now currently, but who knows. Next I go into Tails. Tails searches out the Azamina, and then we're gonna special summon, and then I get hit with a big fat barrier. I was like, dang, okay. Thank God his card is broken, so we can pivot into like fusions, but he cuts me off of the synchros, which I would have won the game if that was like wanted. But okay, so now we're still in a very interesting spot. So I'll do some thinking here, and then I go into this, because we still have these two cards to make our RCL go effect will get us into our Deception. And then I thought about this for a while, because I was like, I could tribute these, and I don't think I tribute the Druid Swarm. I keep this down here as pressure, and I tribute this because this is not doing anything. I actually get rid of this. Okay, this is smart because I want this in gray with this, so they can give me some more follow-up in the future plays. So obviously that was the best spot here. Tripping Jewish Worm does nothing because I can send one of these, but I can just beat over the board anyway. So I'm gonna keep Jewish Worm here as pressure. So we search for the second Azamina, and then we go into this, and then I wanted to not send Desiree here because I want to keep Desiree on board or banish it, so it can cut him off of like sequence being good, and it just cuts off his like Fiendswift stuff because we already banished this. This is out. I thought he was probably on 1, but I found out later on he's on 2, so I thought he was out of this. And he doesn't have follow-up with the Rosette. When he activates Sylvie's to summon itself back, he has like literally no follow-up. I thought I was in the clear here. I was like, oh yeah, we're cooking, because I could turn these two into an SP Little Knight. By the way, this should have been Soul here, because I didn't think I was going to make an SP. I thought about it, but I was like, if I kill Desiree here or banish Desiree, I'm in a good spot. So I should have made this into a Souls, but it doesn't really matter here. I just do less damage. So enter battle phase, beat over. I guess double damage is actually still pretty decent here. So I guess that's probably still the correct line. Who knows? Doesn't really matter. As long as we can beat over the field, we're good. So I think about this for a second. I give him my Omni Negate to put him on literally no cards. And I'm like, yeah, cool. You can go Sylvie if you want. You could definitely go Sylvie if you want, but you still got to top deck something crazy. So I was like, thinking about all his cards he can top deck, and I was like, he doesn't really have anything to top deck. The worst top deck here is actually Sylvie. It's actually Sylvie that can get him right back into the game, because he hasn't been through Tells yet. So that would just be like Tells, Azette, you know, he can shuffle this back. Well, can he shuffle that back? No, I think that card is actually dead too. So yeah, even Sylvie is not like super crazy, but he can do some stuff here still with Sylvie, depending on what his build is. So I set this as a bluff because he thinks that this card is in my hand and vice versa. He doesn't know what this card is, so he knows I had this in hand. So I'm keeping this like, maybe I can bluff an Imperm to make him play a little bit funnier, and then I can bluff this as like a Nib or something, because these two are basically unknown. So he doesn't know I set this or not. He probably thinks Hollow's in my hand anyway, so he's not going to respect Nib, but he doesn't know that, right? So in phase, I set back my Deception. That's more follow-up. He goes Sylvie, and yeah, and then he tops back Sylvie, which is pretty good for him. Normal summon Sylvie, Sylvie effect, Sylvie adds Tells, and I'm just thinking like, oh, I'm good. What can he add? He can't add anything good here, right? Right? Yeah. Wrong. He plays 2 of them things, which, by the way, I'm on 2 as well, but that was a recent update. I'm testing 2 to see if I like it, and I do like it. I definitely saw 1 out going second, so you won't see 2 in my deck right now, but in this game I was playing 2, and I do kind of like 2. I still don't think you need it, but there's a really weird update I did to the deck list. I'm not gonna spoil it now, but if you know, you know. So anyway, he goes this, and I'm just like, oh my god, he wins here, right? He wins here. So I'm like, I'm effing cooked. I can't even SP Little Knight anything here because he has 2 tuners on board, so I can't get rid of 1 tuner and just put him on nothing. So here I was like, all right, maybe I can keep SP Little Knight here as a battle or a threatening war, so he doesn't just straight kill me or something with whatever he's gonna cook me with. So I use Little Knight as like no effect unless he does something stupid. I kept it on board as a just, hey, you got to beat into this, and then you can main phase 2 combo, because I got pretty good follow up here. I got Deception, I got Hollowed, I got Lacrima. Bro, I'm chilling, dude. I still got Drawers Worm set. Like, I don't die here, you know? So he has to clear this. So he goes into this, searches wanted, battle phase, which is what I wanted. And then now he goes into this, activates, you know, the bread and butter combo here. So broken. Add back Black Witch, summoning Omni Negate. Sylvie's effect, summon itself out. Goes right back into the Fiendswift package. And yeah, we don't have to fight. We don't have to worry about fighting Desiree here, but still, the offensive engine becomes a pain in the like. It's so painful. It's so good. He used the technique of Requiem and Black Witch, so Black Witch comes out basically for free, and then Black Witch into Deception makes a light Chaos Angel. Thank God it wasn't light and dark, but light Chaos Angel, banishing the Jewel Swarm. So this outs by Jewel Swarm pressure, which is see you later. And then he goes Deception. Fiendsmith is now using itself as like father to search out the unleashing here. And yeah, my opponent just recreated a board, which is now an Omni Negate. He still has like the Fiendsmith follow-up. He still have the Sylvie plus Synchro Engrave, a Chaos Angel, which is going to be hard to get over, and Unleashing that can bounce back his own Black Witch and Deception. It's like, Jesus Christ, dude. So my end phase, I go Lacrima effect, summoning back Requiem. And by the way, I should have done this, and this is another mistake here, by the way. Another misplay. Let me talk about the misplay here. Okay, main phase 2 here. Okay. So when he activates this and he moves out of main phase 2 here, I actually should have, and this is another misplay because he has this card right here. So he could have cut me off on the offensive engine. So when he set that in main phase 2, I should have activated a Lacrima because he has no more plays, no more anything. He can't do anything to punish me here. I should have main phase 2 activate Lacrima into Requiem effect into Lacrima into Engraver. I would have had a monster on board ready to go. Lacrima's effect, or sorry, Engraver, spin back the Requiem, and then go Requiem again. Requiem effect, go back into another Engraver, and I would have had so much pressure here. And also, fun fact, I can also just go battle phase, beat over this, and figure out how I'm gonna deal with like things like this, you know, of that nature. I didn't think about that. Again, I was watching the stream, it was already in phase. I was like, oh my God, what am I doing? But I realized that was a mistake immediately. So this should have not been in phase. It should have been main phase 2, because now he can just flip over this and draw phase and out my Requiem, which for some reason he did not. I draw into another Perulia. Yes, top decks. Yes, top decks. Yes, top decking. Absolutely the worst cards I could be top decking, but we're still in this game. So now I go Deception because now he's in main phase, or I'm in main phase, so he can't activate Trap to out my Requiem now because I can just tribute. But also there's a Sylvia on the field. So I'm like, I can't just go Requiem because then he'll just negate it, and I'm in a very bad spot because now the only thing I need to resolve is this, and I don't know if that's going to be enough or not. But there's a little trick here. I was like, hopefully my opponent is an idiot, and maybe he will negate this with this, and then I can just shuffle back any of my fusions, and we're in the same spot, right? Because this doesn't send for cost, it sends for effect. So I was like, maybe my opponent's an idiot. So I flip over this. Activate the effect kind of to like bait. I'm like, hopefully he bites, like please. And then he uses this effect, which I'm like, okay. So he has 1, 2, 3, 4 bounces here, but only chooses to do 2, and he bounces this because he doesn't know what this is, right? So this could be an imperm, something random, I don't know, but he bounced it. Doesn't even try to bounce this or Black Witch, which is weird. I feel like you would bounce Black Witch or maybe Deception here just to kind of guarantee those cards to be follow-up cards. But okay, a little weird for my opponent. So I go Deception and then activate that. He doesn't negate, so good for him. And then this is going to force us out the Sylvia. So yep, activate the effect. That's a misplay on my opponent's part because if this was Talents, he was cooked. Like cooked. You take Chaos Angel and you can just do some really crazy stuff. Make a free SP Little Knight, outing Black Witch, and we're off to the races. Honestly, I will out this. In the mirror match, I'm going to go ahead and tell you guys this right now. If you have an opportunity, if you're in a really intense grind game, if you can have an SP Little Knight banish anything, banish this card. This card is broken. Banish this card, please. Trust me, that's the weakness of this deck. If you banish that in the grind game, this grind game goes like through the ground. It's so bad. So banish that card at all costs. But anyway, So we do a little bit of here, just chaining here. I go Lacrima. I'm trying to get back into my Fiendsmith stuff. Yep, new chain link, and then he goes into this. I'm thinking like, oh wait, is he playing the trap? Because why is he doing this? This doesn't make any sense. Like, this play right here makes no sense. You should have saved this into like main phase 2 or end phase. So I'm thinking like, oh dang, does he play the trap? He doesn't, because as you can tell, he didn't activate the effect, so you could tell he's on 2 engravers. So I'm just like, okay, that he's just clicking buttons. Perfect. So I go into my Light and Dark Chaos Angel, and I'm thinking like, bro, I win now. I have a Light and Dark Chaos Angel. This is a grind game. I can beat over or beat into this. I can banish whatever I want. I'm good. Now I banished the Blackwood here, which is fine, but what I should have done in retrospect was actually banish this, because now if I banish this, the Fiendsmith package is pretty much cooked. Like, it's pretty much cooked for the most part. I mean, yeah, you have Requiem and Fiendsmith, but cutting this card off, you're gonna see how much value this card gets in the near future. So it's pretty crazy. So yeah, I banished that. Engraver, you know, sending that. Normal summon, go into sequence, make Desiree, Agman Day, you know, and then making this really beefy, beat over, and then of course he protects himself, puts that in attack mode for some reason. I don't know. Should have been in defense. Maybe he wasn't paying attention, because Desiree does pierce for game there, but like, yeah, that should have been in defense. And then I went this crazy freaking line, and the only reason why I did this because my dumb stuff wasn't paying attention, and I already went through SP Loader Knight. I was trying to make an SP Loader Knight here, and I forgot I already did it, so I messed up. And then now I have a Lacrima on board, and I'm stuck with this. I'm thinking like, what am I doing, bro? Again, I was playing like dog water. I should have just kept Desiree on board. We were fine. But anyway, we set back the Deception here, and we pass. My opponent top stack Alluri, which is not super great here because he definitely has Requiem engraved, so it doesn't really do anything here. Hala Azamina comes back. Engraver summons itself out. Deception tributes that, searches out this, which I believe that's the one he just put back. He's not on 3. He's not crazy. So then he brings that out, summons that. This card is getting so much value here. I'm on basically 0 interruptions. This is where I'm like, God, if I had freaking Desiree here, none of this would have happened. But yeah, you know, it is what it is. I gotta add more content here. So my opponent is playing here, and yeah, he searches out for the card that doesn't really do much here. He goes into this. He's using this as more resources. Searches for a Stellar. That's gonna reset itself. Normal summon next Stellar. Stellar is getting a way more value here. Now the Sylvie goes into the Synchro 8. Synchro 8 is gonna add back the trap card, which outs my freaking Chaos Angel, man. If I just kept Desiree, none of this would have happened. But we are here. So then Want It draws, which is really good. Draws into a Nib. That Nib's gonna cook soon. SP Little Knight. I don't agree with the Desiree hit. I honestly thought he was gonna hit. Oh, actually, Hollow's in my hand. So I guess Desiree was the best hit here. Yeah, it kills my engine, because look, all 3 links are here. I don't have access to Desiree, and this card is sitting right here. So this needs to be in the graveyard on my opponent's turn, not on the field. So I'm making like, oh, okay, maybe he'll like engrave or send it to the graveyard or something. Maybe he's an idiot. Let's find out. So he does that, and he just goes to end phase. I know he thought about it. Because if he would have sent this to the graveyard, ooh, we would have been back in it. But yeah, we're in a tough spot here. So we really need to top deck ourselves out of this situation, because we're in a very bad spot. Very bad spot. We have Unleashing set, Deception for more follow-up, Nib in hand, SP Little Knight. This is still here. Engraver, like all this stuff is still sitting here, dude. So I'm like, oh, okay, this is my 3rd time breaking my opponent's board. And I top deck is that, like, thank God, good top deck. Let's go. So I go battle phase, beat over, and this is where I forgot. I wasn't paying attention. I was watching the stream. I didn't even think he added this back. So I went into battle phase to out the SP Lord of Night, and I just forgot he added this card back. So this was another misplay on my part. which makes this game a lot harder for me to win. Like misplays after misplays after misplays. This is why I wanted to showcase this, because it is a very good game to learn from and a lot of things you can take away from. But oh my god, I'm just watching this and I'm actually cringing. So he bounces back to set Deception for some reason, and Chaos Angel, sure. And now we gotta move into main phase 2. He goes SP Little Knight, banishing Lacrima and SP Little Knight, which sucks because I really want this card in the grave, but that's fine because now my Azat is going to get some value here, so this is fine. Not much because this can Book of Moon everything, so I still gotta outplay so much stuff here. I'm putting myself in a very bad spot here. All right, so he goes Sylvie for some reason, and then I go this into this so I can get like Black Witch. I want to bait out this as fast as possible so my Azet can do stuff. But let's see how we play. So then now we go Azamina, shuffle back to Fusion, go into this, and then now we have our little cool setup here. And we go search Black Witch. Black Witch is good, and then we're gonna summon this to out this. But then I don't think I even go for that. I out Deception, I think. Because here, if I target this, he activates this effect, which I should have done in the first place. Chainlink 1, and then I guess Chainlink 2, since he already Sylvied. We'll just out this. Does he has a RCL in the grave? He doesn't. So yeah, I probably should have just sent this just to bait this out faster. He Book of Moon both of these cards. I go Black Witch, send one of these. Black Witch, search whatever. I think I still have a wanted draw here. Yes, I do. And I could have popped off with this, and I still have my normal summon here. That's cool. I out that. I draw into a Chorozo, which is crazy. Black Witch sends Chorozo, and then now he Books of Moon everything here. You know, whatever. And then I go Deception, tributing, and adding this. So like, I overcooked because I didn't even think about nibbing the situation. So I'm gonna play into this nib very hard. So then now I go, is that, and then I summon this. I should have summoned this first. But I was just like pushing buttons here. I get nib for all my life savings. And I was like, okay, well he outed his own board, so like cool, I guess. But he has way more resources going on because I have not synchro summoned once this entire game. So I'm like, I'm hurting. I don't have like Fiend stuff going. I don't have my Azamina, or I just have Azamina going basically. I don't have any of my synchros going. I'm like, oh god, dang it. Every other turn I pass back to him, I'm like, I'm about to lose. I'm about to lose. So Requiem into Lacrima, and he's just getting so much advantage. Deception sets itself back, and then these two will bring itself back, which god dang it, this Lacrima needs to get in my grave. Draws Imperm. And then he recycles back to Howl Azamina. As you can tell, like this card's getting a ton of value. Sylvie is still getting so much value here. He goes into this, which I'm like, hello? I was not expected to see that card come out of nowhere. So then he special summons, and now I'm like, oh god, now I gotta worry about the Link 4. That's gonna just be a pain in the, like, it just goes downhill. Now he goes back to Stellar. Fun fact, why didn't he? Okay, so he misplays here. He could have literally summoned back Chaos Angel. He could have actually summoned Chaos Angel using Chaos Angel effect to like hurt one of my cards. Could be like Black Witch, could be like whatever, right? And then a Stellar's effect is going to trigger itself since it sent a spell for cost. It summoned itself back. He would have got more value out of that, but he misplayed. So my opponent is also like, oh, no sleep and 0 brain cells. So that's great. So he basically won the game on this turn, but he decided to give me a chance. Thank God. I'm telling you, there's a lot of spaghetti in this game, but it's still a very good game. Stellar brings itself back out, and then summoning that. Again, getting a ton of value out of this and this. Like, this is so insane. This adds back the Simple Spores of the White Forest, and then this brings back Unleashing again. So I gotta refight this board again. Engraver. Yep. This is gonna add the nib token, I'm pretty sure here. Yep. And then battle phase, beat over Oh yeah, he can't beat over that because when this card flips up, it's a continuous effect, so he couldn't beat over this. So I was like, my opponent is throwing. Woo! I already threw 3 turns in a row. This is his like major choke point here. He had the game won here, but now he gives me another chance of life. So perfect. He sets unleashing for the 19th time in a row, keeps this in hand, which is completely fine because now it goes really good with this. So very smart on my opponent. I draw Nib. I'm like, yes, high impact hand trap. So if he goes crazy next turn, I can punish him. Kind of like how he punished me. So anyway, I go into a Light and Darkest Chaos Angel again because it was unleashed. Now I decided to let's out this card this time now. Yeah, 1 turn too late, Yami. Then he goes unleashing, bouncing back my Chaos Angel, which is 1000% fine because now I can just make it again. 1000% fine. So he bounces this to prevent this from being banished. And then he bounce back the Engraver here and doesn't bounce back. Does he? Let's see. 1, 2, 3. He can bounce back a lot here. But anyway, doesn't bounce back this. Oh, he does. He does. Okay. I thought he didn't target for some reason. Okay. I'm about to say hello. All right. So now we just got to like, all right. He's very close to death. Let's finish this, right? So we go back into the Azamina thing. I flip over this. I choke here. I choke. Because now I just played into his Lightless Shadow, which for some reason I didn't think of. Like, this is like honestly the first time this card has been summoned against me. And I wasn't thinking that he can just pop this, and now this doesn't get an effect because he just removed this from the field. So I'm like, oh no. And I think here for a long time because I don't have Fiendsmith package here. I don't have anything here. So I have to pass, and Nib is going to have to carry me here. So now he's getting all his resources back, and I'm just like, what am I doing? Holy throw after throw. I threw every single turn, and my opponent threw that last turn really bad. So anyway, now he goes Lightless Shadow, draws into literally everything. And yeah. Summons Veiler. Sets that card back. That card's getting a ton of value, dog. More Lacrima, more of this. This card's been summoned like 4 times. The Synchro's been summoned like 4 times. Like, I'm so tired of everything. Stellar's gonna bring itself back. I'm gonna Nib here because thank God, because he played into this Nib poorly, but I had to Nib here because I've given him access back to Synchro 8. I just lose the game. I don't think I can beat Unleashing a 9th time. I don't think I can. So, and he goes into that, which doesn't make any sense. I mean, it does, because he just needs this to be banished so he can still float with this card, which is great. I Nib, and then now my Black Witch will get effect. So I think about what I send here, and I'm pretty sure I send Rusia? I don't remember what I sent here, to be real. Yeah, I did. Okay. And then I want to put myself another Wanted here for like more follow-up. And then he's still playing here. He is still cooking. So now he goes Arcea's effect to summon itself out. Using that to draw a card. And he draws into an Ash Blossom. And then synchros into this. Which makes sense here. Not because it gets an effect here, but it helps beat over the Black Witch. So he needs to out Black Witch right now so it doesn't float back again on my next turn. So yeah, he goes into that and outs my Nib token. And then Arcea is going to put that back. And then he's going to pop that to beat over my Black Witch. Which this should have been an attackable for more damage, but I digress. Then that comes back. And then Lacrima is going to do his thing here. And the game is over. The game is over. Now all I got to do is that now I can actually burn my opponent for the rest of the damage here. So this is where things ends. He ashes me. I'm just like, bro, stop drawing good cards, please. So like, it's fine, right? It's fine. We go deception, add back Black Witch. I kind of spaghetti this a little bit, but we're still fine. Black Witch is gonna set that, and then now we go into this, and we go into Souls. We send a monster he controls, and then he burns for the rest of the damage. Because he doesn't have a trap or a monster or anything in hand, so this can't chain. There's nothing he can do about this. A monster can sit to the graveyard. and we burn for a game. Now, I wanted to showcase that off just to kind of give you guys some like how to go first, or not how to go first, but pretty much a really good educational video of a play-by-play. And it was a really good game. There's a lot to take away from. Now, these type of games right here are games that you need to save. If I would have lost, I would have still went over the video because I thought that this was very good. A lot of grinding, a lot of like decision making, things I could have done better, how to analyze your videos, how to like improve. Every other turn except for that last turn, I could have definitely played better. I played like straight cheeks, and we still managed to win the game. Because my opponent through turn 7, which he had the winning play, was bringing back Chaos Angel, banishing whatever, and then Exteller comes out, and he still would have had all that plus Chaos Angel, and I was done. But he decided to throw, and it gave me a chance to come back and win. So I hope you guys enjoyed the content. Hopefully this was like informational or educational. And if you guys want more videos like this, again, let me know in the comments down below. And I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. I'll catch you in the next video. Peace.